Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Nadila bin Hai.
My name is Muhammad Azroi.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nur Alia Syahira binti Abdul Rahman.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Awani Syafinas binti Muhammad Sobri.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nur Damia Farisha binti Muhammad Yusof.
And let's hop on to the presentation.
Kimi no Suizo wa Tabetai, or also known as I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, is a Japanese animated film based on the best-selling light novel. The movie was released on 1st September 2018. Despite its unusual and provocative title, the story is a deeply emotional coming-of-age tale which explores life, death, and the transformative power of human connection. According to IMDb 2018, this story tells about an introverted high school boy named Shiga Haruki who discovers that one of his classmates, Yamauchi Sakura, a cheerful and outgoing girl, is suffering from a terminal pancreatic illness. The secret brings the two of them together as she lives throughout her final moments. Although their personalities were the complete opposite of each other, Sakura invites the boy into her world. She asks him to spend time together with her, not out of pity, it is because he treats her like a normal human being. In this movie, we will discover around 6 acts, starting off with the first act, which introduces our main character, an introverted protagonist high school boy named Shiga Haruki. According to Anime UK News 2020, his world shifts dramatically when he discovers a diary titled Living with Dying in a Hospital Waiting Room, which belongs to one of his high school classmates named Yamauchi Sakura. The diary reveals that Sakura is suffering from a terminal pancreatic illness, which she kept a secret from everyone except for her family. Because of the diary, Haruki and Sakura befriend with each other, and she asks Haruki to spend her remaining time together as she lives up through her remaining days. Proceeding with the second act, which is Act 2, Embracing and Deepening Bonds, as their friendship blossoms, the two of them begin checking off items from Sakura's bucket list like trying new foods and spending time with someone who knows her secret. They went to a spontaneous trip to Fukuoka, booked a hotel room, and watched fireworks together. Despite of Sakura's illness, she remains vibrant and full of life to challenge Haruki's worldview. In Act 3, Social Tension Conflict is a conflict scene between Haruki and Takimoto Kyoko. Kyoko, who is Sakura's best friend who doesn't know about Sakura's illness, becomes increasingly hostile towards Haruki since she assumes Haruki is taking advantage of Sakura. She accuses him of being unworthy of Sakura's attention, and Haruki, emotionally reserved, doesn't defend himself, which deepens the misunderstanding. This begins Haruki to question his own motives. Is he helping Sakura out of kindness, or is he emotionally dependent towards her?
A turning point in the Act 4, the fireworks and hospitalization. Sakura is hospitalized because her condition becoming more undeniable. Despite her illness, Sakura remains spirited and tries to live her best, but Haruki begins to realize the limited time they have left together. However, Sakura, who is fighting her illness, still insists on sneaking out with Haruki to see the summer fireworks festival. Despite her illness, Sakura remains spirited and tries to live her best. But Haruki begins to realize the limited time they have left together. Haruki and Sakura watch the fireworks together, sharing quiet and intimate moments. After being discharged from the hospital, Sakura invites Haruki to lunch at her house. Haruki looks forward to the meeting but is unaware that this will be the last time he hears from her. In Act 5, The Unexpected Goodbye, Sakura never shows up for lunch. A tragedy strikes in the unexpected and shocking way. During the evening, Haruki learns from the news that she was stabbed to death in a random act of violence, which is unrelated to her illness, and Haruki is in a grief towards Sakura's death. He later visits Sakura's mother and receives Sakura's diary with a final message from her. Sakura's message urges Haruki to live fully and befriend Kyoko. Haruki later finds Kyoko. They share the truth about Sakura's illness and they begin to heal together by accepting her death. In the post-credit scene, around a year later, Haruki and Kyoko visit Sakura's grave, which symbolizes the enduring impact Sakura had on their life.
Our group has chosen I Want to Eat Your Pancreas as the title of our reports. This breathtaking animated films is primarily emotional and introspective. This movie draws special attention to Haruki Shiga, who deliberately avoiding emotional connections and stay out of the spotlight. And for the Sakura Yamauchi is a cheerful girl who is hiding her illness from the other people. For the story uses heartfelt, intimate dialogue and narration to explore deep terms like life, illness, friendships, and human connections. It's highlight it highlights how personal and vulnerable communication and can foster understanding and empathy between characters, especially as they confront mortality and Christie everyday moments together. Um, According to My Anime List 2023 and Anime's new network 2001 for this story, I Want to Eat Your Pancreas is a Japanese animated drama film produced by Shinichiro Ushijima and adapted by a light novel that is written by Yuro Sumino. The written and illustrated sources material. The film was created by the Idumi Kirihara. Apart from that, this film was released on September 1, 2018, and because the film has an intriguing and thought-provoking storyline, it won the Japanese Academy Prize for Popularity Award for the categories of most popular film by the Japan Academy Film Prize Association. For the our group has chosen I Want to Eat Your Pancreas as the title of our reports. This breathtaking animated films is primarily emotional and introspective. This movie draws special attention to Haruki Shiga, who deliberately avoiding emotional connections and stay out of the spotlight. And for the Sakura Yamauchi is a cheerful girl who is hiding her illness from the other people. For the story uses heartfelt, intimate dialogue and narration to explore deep terms like life, illness, friendships, and human connections. It's highlight It highlights how personal and vulnerable communication and can foster understanding and empathy between characters, especially as they confront mortality and Christie everyday moments together. Um, According to My Anime List 2023 and Anime's new network 2001 for this story, I Want to Eat Your Pancreas is a Japanese animated drama film produced by Shinichiro Ushijima and adapted by a light novel that is written by Yuro Sumino. The written and illustrated sources material is the film was created by the Idumi Kirihara. Apart from that, this film was released on September 1, 2018, and and because the film has an intriguing and thought-provoking storyline, it won the Japanese Academy Prize for Popularity Award for the categories of most popular film by the Japan Academic Film Prize Association. Okay, for the main character, this amazing and talented voice actor for the two main characters are Lin and Takasugi Mahiro, who play Yamauchi Sakura and Haruki Shika. And in order to be more engaging and appealing to a wide audience, Fuji Yukio and Fukushima Jun and numerous other characters were added. The inclusion of the extra characters give the movie more realistic feel and allow for the portrayal of the range of character personality. I think that's all. Thank you. I want to tell you about 4 issues happen in I Want to Eat Your Pancreas movies. First issue is misunderstanding. It happens when Sakura first tells Haruki about her illness. She does so in a casual and joking manner. Haruki, who is serious and reserved, which causes him to misread her intentions and emotional cues, also struggles to grasp the gravity of her confession, and initially thinks she might be exaggerating or not being truthful. It leads to moments where Haruki feels confused or hurt. This misunderstanding creates emotional distance between them and prevents Haruki from responding in a supportive way at first. Second issue is non-verbal communication barriers, which is Haruki is bullied at school and Sakura tries to comfort him with gestures and a cheerful attitude, but Haruki's withdrawn demeanor and lack of responses make it difficult for her to know if he feel better. As a result, important emotions and intention remain unspoken, causing further misunderstandings and emotional disconnect, and both characters struggle to interpret each other through emotions. Second issue is non-verbal communication barriers, which is Haruki is bullied at school and Sakura tries to comfort him with gestures and a cheerful attitude, but Haruki's withdrawn demeanor and lack of responses make it difficult for her to know if he feel better. As a result, important emotions and intention remain unspoken, causing further misunderstandings and emotional disconnect, and both characters struggle to interpret each other through emotions. To the third issue, which are cultural differences. This film is set in Japan, where social norms often encourage emotional restraint, and particularly the tendency to avoid discussing personal struggles openly, which Sakura chooses to keep her illness a secret from most people, including her best friend, to avoid causing worry and pity. The culture creates a lack of honest dialogue and direct communication as she suppresses her true feelings and avoids difficult conversations which prevent the others from fully understanding during her critical moments. In this scene, after Sakura's death, Haruki asks Kyoko to meet somewhere to give her to read Sakura's diary, which contains notes about Sakura's pancreatic disease as well as her feelings toward the people and around her. She cries and feels she should have spent more time with her when she was alive. She felt like she didn't know Sakura very well, even though she is her best friend. We move to the last issues in this movie. Is effective listening. It happens when Sakura opens up about her fears and dreams, and also simply tries to enjoy the present moment. Haruki sometimes responds with short, not committal answers or avoids the topic altogether, that he sometimes misses the underlying message in Sakura's words and actions, which not only hinders his ability to empathize with her situation but also limits the depth and growth of their friendship and making it harder for them to connect on a meaningful level.
And now let's talk about the solutions. First, the solution for the communication issue that is misunderstanding. The solution that can be made is direct and empathic communications. In the movie, we can see that Sakura is talking about her illness in a joking intonation. This can be prevented if Sakura is more direct and clear while discussing about her illness. With her communication tight, it can make confusion for someone like Haruki. Sakura needs to be more serious in her intonation in order to tell other people about the important things such as her illness. Second one, active listening and clarifying questions. Haruki's impression and reactions to Sakura's statement about her illness. To fix this, Hakura should practice active listening by not only listening to Sakura but also trying to ask a few questions. Besides that, Hakuri can flip the table when Sakura tells about her illness in a joking intonation by asking her some serious questions. Next, establishing a safe space for communication. Haruki and Sakura can find a time or a moment to talk to each other. That is mean they can share anything between two of them to understand each other better. They can find a better place or a safer place for both of them to talk to each other. This can help them to understand each other deeper by doing a heart-to-heart communications. And lastly, feedback on communication style. Both characters could engage in better communication. For example, Sakura can tell Haruki that she is going to be serious about something that she will talk about. That is something that she will tell him. In that, Haruki can be serious to receiving the information from Sakura. Now let's talk about the second communication issue, which is non-verbal communication barriers. For this problem, Hakuri and Sakura can actively verbalize what they observe. For Sakura, she can use other methods to get into Hakuri's life. She could express her intention to comfort Hakuri since he is being bullied at school. For Hakuri, he needs to observe more about the reaction he accepts from Sakura. He can ask her if she's trying to help him instead of bullying him like other people. Next, encourage direct emotional expression. They can make communication between both of them more emotional. For Hakuri, he can try to respond to Sakura with some simple word but make it emotional instead of answer it regularly. For Sakura, she can help express her work with more feeling and emotions. This provides a verbal hint for her non-verbal expression to ensure that Hakuri didn't get what she wants to say wrong. Next, establishing a rapid feedback in any situation. They can simply create a communication after something happens. This involves one person to talking to another with emotional state. For example, after Hakuri is bullied, Sakura can directly ask if he is okay or not. For Hakuri, he needs to answer Sakura's question honestly so that they can fix their communication. Last but not least, learning and acknowledging each other's language spot. They can discuss and acknowledge. For example, Hakuri can understand that to the third communication issues, which is cultural difference. In the film, we can see that Sakura is applying a subtle approach by hiding all of her illness from almost everyone, including her own best friend. This is a common culture norm for not bothering other people. Next, introducing check-in for unspoken concern. In this film, we can see that Kyoko is concerned for Sakura. In the same time, Sakura is maintaining its normal personalities that make other people unable to see the truth that she is ill. If Kyoko regularly asks about Sakura's life, observing her energy and mood without asking directly to her help, it may give her an open window to share about his problem. Next, leveraging indirect communication channels for sensitive topics. If Sakura had used her diary or any written letter for Kyoko, it will be a game changer. She could have given Kyoko the instruction to read it when she is ready. This respect and cultural preference and avoid a potentially uncomfortable direct verbal communication, while still ensuring the vital information and emotional truth conveyed. Lastly, promoting empathy first response. If Sakura had perceived that her friend, especially Kyoko, mean, they would listen to her and focus on something her rather than immediately dissolving into tears. This would require a culture shift or individual training in respond calmly, supportively to difficult news. This creates a safer place for sharing personal struggles even within a cultural value emotional restraint. Now let's look at the last communication issue, which is ineffective listening. Haruki's challenge. Now let's look at the last communication issue, which is ineffective listening. Haruki's challenge is being present in the conversation. Mindful listening involves actively focusing on the speaker, not only on their words, but also on their tones. Hakuri could setting aside his book or any other things that can bother with his talk with Sakura so that he can give her a full attention. Next, when Hakuri struggles to grasp Sakura's deeper message, he tends to retreat. Instead, he could actively seek clarification by asking an open-ended questions that encourage her to elaborate more about what she's talking about. Next, Haruki can use the reflective listening bar. This technique involves Haruki briefly summarizing or rephrasing what he thinks Sakura has just communicated, both verbal and emotionally. This provides a direct check for understanding and shows Sakura is genuinely processing her word. And lastly, schedule meaningful conversation times. It's given Hakuri's initial reluctance to engage deeply. Uncultured conversation might be overwhelming. Setting aside specific, agreed upon times and more meaningful discussion could create an environment where he's mentally prepared to listen.
The summary I Want to Eat Your Pancreas is a coming-of-age story that explores the unpredictable nature of life and the power of human connection, especially through the lens of communication, both its successes and its failures. The film is about how two different people with opposite personalities, Haruki and Sakura, navigate the complexities of friendship, weakness, and mortality in a world where honest, open communication is often obstacled by emotional barriers, cultural expectations, and personal fears. Throughout their time together, the communication issues like misunderstanding, nonverbal barriers, cultural differences, and ineffective listening reflects the real struggle people face when trying to connect deeply with others, especially in the shadow of grief and fear. For example, Haruki's inability to fully comprehend Sakura's condition or to express his feeling leads to moments of emotional distance. But as the story progresses, he learns to listen more attentively and to engage more openly. In the end, I Want to Eat Your Pancreas is not just a story about someone's death or illness, but about the courage it takes to live authentically and to communicate honestly with those around us. It reminds viewers that while life is fragile and unpredictable, the bonds we form and the willingness to truly listen and be present can transform our experience and leave lasting meaning. Thus, the movie encouraged us to break down our emotional walls, to embrace weakness, and to cherish every fleeting moment of genuine communication and connection. For these are what give life its deepest value.
That is all for our presentation of our movie study case. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.